When I got a call saying that they were making this show that was set 200 years before Game of Thrones, I was really interested.
Game of Thrones launched successful careers of many young actors, and it looks like its prequel, The House of Dragon, is also doing just that. The show's given us Fabien Frankel, who plays the role of Sir Criston Cole. Much like his character, there's a lot you might not know about the young British actor. In this video, we'll be taking a deep dive into Fabien Frankel's life. Starting off with number 10, he's following in his father's footsteps. Fabien's familiarity with the world of acting began much earlier, all because of his father, who was also an actor. His father, Mark Frankel, was a prominent actor back in the 1990s. His breakout performance was in the feature film Leon the Pig Farmer, which won the Critics Award at the Venice Film Festival. He also starred in hit American TV series about hunting vampires called Kindred, The Embraced. He also appeared in a number of stage productions. All in all, his career was quite successful, and his son, Fabien Frankel, was inspired to join acting mostly because of him. Much like Fabien, his father was also seen as a charming actor in the film and TV industry. Moving on to number 9, he's faced tragedy in his life at a very young age. Much like his character on The House of Dragon, Fabien Frankel is no stranger. The young actor lost his father when he was only 2 years old. At the time, Mark Frankel was at the height of his career as he just stepped into Hollywood after a wonderful acting career back home in Britain. But fate had other plans. On September 24, 1996, Mark Frankel got into a traffic accident. He was on a motorcycle and hit a lorry. After sustaining multiple injuries, he passed away, leaving behind his wife and 2 kids. He was only 34 years old at the time, while his son Fabien was only 2. Fabien's younger brother Max was born after his father's death. The House of the Dragon star has mentioned in a recent interview that he's now the same age his father was when he graduated from drama school. Frankel also shared that he's met a lot of his father's friends and acquaintances ever since he joined this profession. To him, it's always been a major delight catching up with his late father's friends. Let's head on to number 8. The actor speaks fluent French. Another dreamy detail about our shady knight in shining armor is that he's half French. His mother, Caroline Besson, is a French-Italian advertising executive, so there was a lot of French being spoken at his home while he was growing up. In a recent interview with British Vogue, he explained that he's surprised that he knows how to speak English at all, as French was the only language he was exposed to at home. And all of this came in handy for his role as a French backpacker in the Netflix series The Serpent. He's shown off his French in multiple interviews by now, to the surprise of his co-stars. Maybe we'll see him in a role soon where he only speaks French. That would be a dream. Following up with number 7, he wasn't always good at acting. To get to play a knight in this big-budget show with dragons, Fabien had to come a long way. Much like any actor, he got his first taste of acting in his school plays, but he admitted that he was horrible in all of the school plays he's been in. The British actor revealed to Variety magazine that he was so bad at acting that he was always given the worst roles in his school. He recalled getting the part of photographer number 2 in Singin' in the Rain, and how that was the closest he'd ever got to acting in his school plays. After such a miserable experience, he never thought about pursuing acting until he turned 16 and just decided to become an actor. But this time, he did his homework and watched all of the classics like On the Waterfront and Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. Later on, he applied for drama school and got accepted on his 3rd attempt. He first completed a year-long course at Royal Academy of Dramatic Art and then graduated with a degree in professional acting from London Academy of Music and Art. All of that hard work paid off since he's on the biggest show on HBO at the moment. Moving on to number 6. Sir Criston Cole isn't his first on-screen role. Unlike his school plays, Fabien got some decent roles before he went on to join the House of the Dragon family. He actually appeared alongside the mother of dragons, Emilia Clarke, before any of his co-stars. That was his first appearance in a film. He showed up in the rom-com featuring Emilia Clarke last Christmas. His role was quite short, with hardly any lines, but he did get to kiss Emilia Clarke in it, so it was still captivating. When he got the role of Sir Criston Cole, he showed up at Clarke's birthday party to announce that, so they're quite good friends. Apart from that role, he also appeared in a number of TV shows like NYPD Blue Reboot and BBC's An Uncandid Portrait. He's also set to appear in an upcoming indie film titled Venice at Dawn. Following up at number 5, he panicked on his first day as Sir Criston Cole. Being on one of the most anticipated shows of the year got the best of Frankel. On his first day on set, his nerves got the better of him. While speaking about it in the official Game of Thrones podcast, the actor revealed that when the camera finally came around to him in his first scene, he froze. He couldn't remember his lines and forgot how to act. That's when he knew that he'd lost his one big shot. But the former showrunner Miguel Sapochnik came to his rescue. The young actor recalled how Sapochnik walked through a sea of extras to get to him and finally asked him what was causing the stage fright. That discussion might have saved his career, but Frankel still remembers it as one of the most embarrassing moments of his life. Well, we're glad he didn't quit acting after that. Let's move on to number 4. He prepared for his sex scene for over 7 months. Fans of the show might be aware that Sarah Kristen Cole's love life is one of the many subplots of the show, so there had to be a sex scene out of that subplot. Fabien took it very seriously and prepared for it for 7 months. He wanted to make the moment as realistic as possible and discussed it with his co-star, his intimacy coordinator, and the director of the episode over the course of 7 months. In the podcast West of Westeros, the young actor explained his thought process behind the big moment. He didn't want to make it a spectacle, but wanted to show the reality of it, which can be sometimes difficult. During all this process, Frankel noticed the practical side of it as well and made sure to include a bit about the heavy armor his character wore. He also praised the intimacy work done on Hulu's hit show Normal People. That served as a major inspiration for him in order to prepare for his first sex scene. Moving on to number 3. He was completely shocked to see the set. Being part of the Game of Thrones universe, it takes a while to get used to the scale of it all. That's exactly what happened to the 28-year-old actor on his first day on set. Apart from freezing on his first scene, he was also quite shocked to see the set when he first stepped onto it. In an interview with Variety, he explained that on his first day he couldn't really tell where he was going. It was impossible to tell what was left or what was right. And then, he was also starstruck seeing veteran actors like Rhys Ifans and Paddy Considine on set, but he finally got used to it. Following up with number 2, he also wants to become a director. The young star has already expressed his interest in becoming a director. He told Variety that he was greatly inspired by the works of Greta Gerwig, Stanley Kubrick, P.T. Anderson, and Salvador Dali. As much as he enjoys being an actor, he also sees himself directing pretty soon, and he claims he's equally ambitious in that area. So far, he isn't working behind the camera, but we'd love to see him do that.
This period in Westeros was a very decadent time. So you get to see what the realm looks like before it descends into the detritus and post-decadence of war that you see in the original series.
Wrapping up at number 1, his mom was the first person he told about his big break. He first learned that he was chosen to play Sarah Kristen Cole over a Zoom call. And at that moment, Fabien felt like he was going to faint. But before he could do that, he immediately picked up the phone to tell his mother. Fabien revealed that his mother refused to believe him at first, but eventually accepted his son was going to be a star. And with that, that's a wrap for this video. We'll see you in the next one.